Imagine waking up tomorrow with $1 million in your bank account. It sounds like the dream everyone is chasing. No more financial stress, no more worrying about bills, no more checking your account before buying something you want. But here's a question that almost nobody asks. If someone handed you $1 million today, would you still be a millionaire 5 years from now? History gives us a shocking answer. Thousands of lottery winners have won life changing amounts of money, only to end up broke again. Not because they weren't intelligent, not because they were lazy, but because they never changed the way they thought about money. And that reveals one of the biggest secrets of wealth. Becoming rich isn't about getting money, it's about becoming the kind of person who knows how to keep it. Think about two people who earn the exact same salary. They live in the same city, work similar jobs, and face the same economy. 10 years later, one has built a seven-figure net worth while the other is buried under credit card debt, car loans, and financial stress. The difference wasn't luck. It wasn't a higher paycheck. It wasn't some secret investment hidden from everyone else. The difference was invisible. It was the decisions they made every single day. Decisions shaped by a mindset that most people never develop. From the day we're born, society teaches us how to earn money, but almost never how to build wealth. We spend years learning algebra, history, and science, yet very few schools explain how compound interest works, why inflation quietly steals purchasing power, or why emotional decisions destroy more wealth than bad investments ever could. Most people grow up believing that if they simply work harder, success will eventually follow. But if hard work alone created millionaires, then millions of hardworking Americans working double shifts would already be financially free. The truth is both simple and uncomfortable. Wealth doesn't begin in your wallet, it begins in your mind. Before someone builds a fortune, they first build a different way of thinking. They stop asking, "How much can I spend?" and start asking, "How can this money create more money?" That single question changes everything. It changes how they save, how they invest, how they react during a recession, and even how they define success. Over the next few minutes, you're going to discover the millionaire mindset that almost nobody teaches. These aren't motivational quotes or overnight success tricks. They're timeless principles backed by psychology, history, and the habits of self made millionaires who started with little more than an ordinary income and an extraordinary way of thinking. By the end of this video, you may not have more money in your pocket, but you'll have something far more valuable, a completely different way of looking at wealth. And sometimes that's exactly where every millionaire's journey begins. The first mindset shift is understanding that money is never the goal. Freedom is. Most people spend their entire lives chasing a bigger paycheck, believing that more income will solve every financial problem. But if income alone created wealth, every professional athlete, celebrity, and lottery winner would stay rich forever. Yet history tells a different story. Many people have earned millions, only to lose everything because they focused on making money instead of managing it. Millionaires understand a simple truth. It's not what you earn that changes your life, it's what you keep and what you grow. This is where psychology quietly takes over. Every day, your brain is fighting a battle between instant gratification and long term success. Imagine walking into a store and seeing the newest phone, a luxury watch, or a brand new car. Your emotions tell you to buy it because it feels good in the moment. But wealthy people have trained themselves to pause. Instead of asking, "Do I want this?" they ask, "What is this purchase going to cost me 5 years from now?" And often, the answer isn't just the price tag. It's the investment returns, the compound growth, and the financial opportunities they'll lose by spending that money today. One of the greatest financial superpowers isn't intelligence, it's patience. Warren Buffett once said that the stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. That idea doesn't just apply to investing, it applies to life. Millionaires understand that real wealth is built slowly. They don't chase every trending stock, every viral business idea, or every promise of getting rich overnight. Instead, they focus on consistency. They invest month after month, year after year, allowing compound interest to do what no human can, make time work in their favor. While most people measure success by the things they own, millionaires measure success by the assets they control. They know a luxury car loses value the moment it leaves the dealership, but an investment in a quality business, an ETF, or a rental property has the potential to grow for decades. That's why they don't buy things to look rich. They buy assets that quietly make them rich. And once you understand the next mindset shift, you'll realize why self made millionaires see opportunities where everyone else sees obstacles. Every economic crisis in history has revealed something fascinating about the millionaire mindset. While the average person sees fear, uncertainty, and disaster, wealthy investors often see opportunity. Think back to the 2008 financial crisis. Millions of people watched the stock market collapse and immediately sold their investments, convinced everything was falling apart. But while fear dominated the headlines, some of the world's most successful investors were quietly buying. They understood something that history has proven time and time again. Markets recover, businesses adapt, and economies rebuild. The people who stayed patient weren't just rewarded with higher returns. They were rewarded because they refused to let emotions make financial decisions. This is one of the hardest lessons to master because our brains are naturally wired for survival, not investing. Behavioral psychologists call this loss aversion. The pain of losing money feels much stronger than the joy of making it. That's why many people panic when their portfolio drops by 20%, even if they are investing for the next 20 years. Millionaires recognize this emotional trap. They don't ignore risk, but they refuse to confuse temporary setbacks with permanent failure. Instead of reacting to every headline, they stick to a long term strategy and let time do the heavy lifting. Another hidden mindset is that wealthy people invest in themselves before they invest in anything else. They understand that the greatest asset they'll ever own isn't a stock, a house, or a business, it's their ability to earn, learn, and adapt. That's why they constantly read books, develop new skills, build valuable relationships, and stay curious. A stock can crash, a business can fail, but knowledge compounds just like money, and nobody can take it away from you. Every new skill increases your value in the marketplace and creates opportunities that money alone can never buy. Perhaps the biggest secret of all is that millionaires don't chase status. They chase freedom. They aren't trying to impress strangers with expensive cars or designer brands. They're building a life where work becomes a choice instead of a necessity. To them, real wealth means waking up every morning with control over their time, their decisions, and their future. And once you understand this final principle, you'll realize that becoming a millionaire isn't about reaching a certain number in your bank account. It's about becoming the kind of person who thinks differently long before the money ever arrives. The truth is, the millionaire mindset isn't something you're born with, it's something you build, one decision at a time. Every self made millionaire started exactly where someone else was, earning a paycheck, paying bills, and facing uncertainty about the future.